Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graham Show. Michael B. Jordan says that Creed 2 needs a real villain. And honestly, he probably wouldn't be wrong for that. Because honestly, some movies like Rocky, they can't actually survive like the way how they have been without actually having a real villain in the fucking story. Or at least at the very end, you kind of saw that after Rocky. I believe it was after Rocky 3, or around Rocky 3, when like the movies where they kind of started to get a bit comical. But in terms of trying to compare these to like the earlier Rocky films, is that I know that the first Rocky film, it kind of feels a lot like Creed, whereas that it's a guy who just loves to fight, or in Rocky's case, he was a guy who nobody took seriously to when one day he was just challenged by Apollo Creed. And, you know, then things just kind of went up there. So like they kind of just went up and up for him, you know, to where that his goal at the first time was just to survive his fight. The second movie, I believe it was to win his fight against Apollo, to which he did. And then after that, everything else just kind of just got fucking silly, you know, to where that the third film, it did kind of have a villain with Mr. T, but you know, then they also had another villain with fucking Ivan Drago, of course. Then of course after that you had 5, which I believe was the other villain he had, which was a lot like how Creed is now, to where Rocky, he did take a guy under his belt, which was Tommy Gunn. And because he wanted to be, or at least like he wanted respect, like Rocky and shit, which is weird. I don't know why he didn't get respect, even though he won the heavyweight title. I mean, not the heavyweight. He won the highest fucking like belt, like in his fucking size. So I'm like, I think he was a think he was a heavyweight boxer. It's been a while since I've seen these fucking movies, but either way. It's like, you know, like those are people out there who were villains, but they weren't villains in the sense that they were like evil people or anything. It's just more or less like, I would think more or less that like how they painted up some of the characters in the first Creed film would be that it seems as though is that the people who that you saw earlier on in the film possibly could have been pretty good rival characters for him, like if there ever was a second film, because of course Michael B. Jordan, he does go on to say, I think the Godfather take is super ambitious and awesome, but when you're dealing with someone like Ryan Coogler, I think honestly he can pull off anything. So that's kind of cool. So that's pretty cool and honest. So that's pretty cool. And honestly, in Creed 1, we didn't have a real villain. I don't think we didn't have a real villain. I don't think. So it would be kind of cool to have the antagonist character for Adonis to go up to and have some real animosity towards. That would be pretty cool. Now, honestly, I can kind of relate to that, because I'm like, of course, the first film, it really didn't have a villain. It was just people out there just being people. The thing about that is, though, is that there was more than one boxer, you know, Pretty Ricky Collin, who that they kind of who did they actually kind of put underneath like the little title cards and whatnot, like earlier on in the film. So you do kind of look at that and you say, wait, there are 2 other boxers out there who probably could be like possible either antagonists or rivals in the next film if they ever decide to create another Creed film. So that is something that I can look at and say, well, yeah, you know, it's a possibility. I mean, like, at this point, if they do make a sequel, you know, it's like they can't really do the whole Rocky 1 thing, or at least like the Rocky 2 thing, where like he's just to where now he is training to actually get the belt because he knows that he can swing with the big boys like in an actual ring. So that is something to sort of like take into account. But that is what I gotta say about that. Please tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.